Hello, welcome to the OK Level 1 channel, man. I am going to be discussing Invincible season 4, episode 5. And I will just be saying how I feel about the different parts within the movie. The show. I just got done talking about the Mario movie, so movies on my brain. I liked the parts. I really liked this episode. I really did. So we first get into it, and it's Mark, Eve, Alan. Alan's talking to Eve about something, I don't remember. And then Omni-Man is like, I gotta say hi to my ex-wife, and I gotta apologize for what I did. Which I feel like, it's very good that Omni-Man is trying to right his wrongs. I like that about his character. He did a lot in the first season, destroyed a lot of buildings, killed a lot of people. I really like that he is apologizing for what he did. And I also like the fact that when it came to Debbie's apology, or when it came to how Debbie felt about it, I'm pretty sure in the comics they say they just kind of get back together. But Debbie doesn't forgive him. And I really like this. I like this a lot. Because why would you forgive the man that beat your son half to death, killed a bunch of people in secret, killed all of the guardians, killed innocent bystanders? Everybody on that train got cooked. Everybody on that train. And you telling me that she just gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Now I know in the comics it's a little bit different because Paul isn't who he is. I'm pretty sure Paul is abusive in the comics. Here they're kind of making it seem like Paul's moving a little fast, and Debbie might have to make a decision, but we're probably not going to see that because the characters are in space right now, and that's more important. So they have a little argument, and then it was like she punches his hand, or she punches his chest, and it hurts a little bit. And I just really like how they show just the pain. Omni-Man, you see he's apologizing, and he's just letting it sit. He's not trying to change anybody's mind. He did try to change Debbie's mind a little bit, but you see that he's going with this apology style of, I'm sorry, you don't have to forgive me. I did what I did, you don't have to forgive me, I just want to apologize. I feel like that's very mature. I feel like, it's him actually growing into himself rather than who the Viltrumites want him to be. I really like that. I like how they kind of leave their relationship in this gray area to where it might happen, it might not happen. It's not just this immediate, oh my God, I'm gonna leave Paul in this, then the third. No, very, very emotional scene, had me hooked. I liked it. I love scenes where it's the acting and different things like that. I like that. I really do like that. Then after that, they showed, if I remember correctly, they showed Tech Jacket, right? They showed Tech Jacket, and she is a character who a lot of people are kind of mad at because she had a fan base in the comics. And she was a boy in the comics, right? People are like, why did they do this? My friends saw them talking, and her and Oscar talking. It feels like there might be a romance between them, which I'm pretty sure is different in the comics. Yeah, it's pretty different in the comics because in the comics they were bros or whatever. I didn't read it, and he just watched explainer videos. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, Tech Jacket is she fried this one villain, hit him with a giant charge up laser blast, to show us that she is strong. We already know that she's strong because she took out an Invincible berry, and it didn't really look like there were that much scratches on her. Now that may have been a lie because her suit rebuilds itself. From what we saw in this episode, the suit rebuilds itself, so we don't necessarily know the extent of her strength yet. From what it seems like, yes, she can be overpowered. Nobody in this, I think that's one thing, nobody in this show is really strong. There's always a struggle in this show, which makes things on the edge it makes you on the edge of your seat, but then sometimes it's Mark gets hit and knocked out by these minor characters, and it's really. But anyways, so Tech Jacket is asked by Alan to join the resistance against Viltrum, and her dad or her uncle or her chaperone or whoever it is very supportive of it, which I did not expect. You're sending your daughter basically to go out. I did not expect him to be like, oh sure, you can do it if you really want to. That was crazy. That was crazy. So then we go to the scene where it's Mark and Oscar's final moments on Earth. Not final moments, I'm sure they're gonna go back in season 6 or whatever, but season 5. Just a nice little dinner with Eve, Paul, Debbie, Oscar, and Did I just say Oscar? Have I been saying Oscar this whole time or not? Have I been saying Oliver? My bad. So Oliver, yeah. Eve, Mark, Oliver, Paul, and Debbie, and they're having like a traditional Asian style breakfast, not breakfast, dinner. Like, see, guys, my mind is messed up. I just woke up like 2 hours ago, and it was nice seeing that, a little bonding time. And you see at the end, I think Paul asks, is your hand okay? And she's like, yeah. Did anything happen? And she's probably keeping it to herself. Doesn't really want to discuss.
Okay, I'm back. I had to get something to eat real quick. I was hungry, man. But look though, we back. But yeah, Debbie's probably gonna keep this to herself internally because Paul's kind of there. Like she probably there is a lot going on in her life right now, so definitely gonna keep that to herself. So then. We get to Mark and Eve, and they're laying together, and Eve doesn't tell her that she's pregnant, which I felt like it made sense, yeah, because like he's already going to war. You don't want him thinking about all that in the back of his head. We go to space, and it's the same like Star Trek people again, and there was like a little moment that all of the characters were bonding, and that was nice. We see Nolan, he was eating, he didn't necessarily feel like he was welcome. It's starting to set in like what he's done to everybody and all of the people that he's killed. Like everyone in Chicago probably lost a friend that day, a family member. Like there is a lot that he has done, and I feel like it is good that he is realizing that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, he met up with Art again, and Art was like, I make hero suits, like I don't make suits for people like you. And I like that scene too. And then when he went away, like he was scared for his life. I like that too. Just showing the dichotomy. Let's get to the part that y'all all want me to talk about, right? So they're in space and their stuff gets hijacked. And there are 3 Viltrumites. Random Viltrumite I don't remember. Steve Harvey, Lucan, and that boy Conquest. The rematch between Conquest and Invincible. Honestly, I was more hyped to see Omni-Man and Conquest because that seemed like more of a fair fight. They were fighting a little bit. They were scuffling a little bit. The weakest link in the situation I feel like was Oliver. He couldn't really catch up, couldn't really keep up, really like that. Oliver and Tech Jacket were like the ones that were having the most trouble, I feel like, during the fight. Let me close my door. Alan, they're fighting. Alan and Tech Jacket, they disappear and go into a Viltrumite ship or something. I don't know what they're doing, like camouflaging. And then Conquest, Oliver's like, I can't breathe. So he goes to another planet. And then the scene where Conquest is behind that boy, like high five, like on that boy. That was, oh my gosh, that was so edge of my seat right there, bro. Actually edge of my seat. Really on the edge of my seat. Like that right there. And then Invincible handled him. He was like, you will never breathe again. The whole battle was like this tug of war. Conquest was throwing him around, throwing him on this, throwing him on that, moving on the planet, slamming him on the ground, trying to get him off of him, but Mark wouldn't let up. Oh yeah, Omni-Man saved him. I really wanted Omni-Man and Conquest to fight. I know that they don't in the comics, but that would have been a cool fight. Y'all can't lie, it's more of an even level than Conquest and Invincible. Mark choked Conquest out, but Conquest started like pulling Mark's insides out. I'm actually surprised Mark actually won. If Conquest is dead, which I think that's what they're going for here, I don't believe it. Because honestly, and another thing I feel like is that the rematch was a little bit too soon. Like we just saw this guy 5 episodes and he's like this unstoppable force type thing that you see going on. And then Invincible, the first episode, it seems like he's stronger, and then he gets hit by that girl with the electricity, and then Adam Eve one punches her and one shots her. And I think they're trying to illustrate, Mark is going through it, but it's like he should be stronger than these people. But my mind, if that's what they're going for, my mind did not register that he is stronger than Conquest. Mark, the last time he beat Conquest, almost died. And they did it again this time, but there was less of a struggle. There's an inconsistency with how strong Mark is supposed to be, to where he wins and it doesn't really feel believable. And I understand when he loses, it's supposed to be strong people all the time, but he has trouble with almost every side villain. I'm sure in the comics it's different and it's supposed to be like, oh, he's still getting his bearings, but you showed dude pushing up and down a literal mountain, and he gets one-shotted by random electricity girl, and almost every villain that he sees is able, not one-shotted, but just they're able to do significant damage to him. He was even having trouble with Doc Seismic. I don't agree with that, I just wish that there was more like uncertainty that Mark was gonna win, because I don't know, I enjoy the fight, don't get me wrong, but there's a certain level of unbelievability to it now that you've seen Mark lose all of these different fights and have trouble with all of these different people. You're just kind of like, how strong is this guy? And then he gets a win on Conquest, who, we saw his strength. Mark barely survived, right? And yes, he barely survived this time. He got his guts pulled out. But there were a lot less injuries in this fight than there were when they first had their fight. I love this episode, dude. Like, this was a good episode, especially after that filler that we got last episode. I wasn't really feeling that. And then, like I said, the writing strength problem came in, where it's like this uncertainty of how strong he is. He one-shotted a hell demon that all of the other demons were having trouble with. He'll have trouble fighting, like what last season he had trouble fighting Multipole or something. Like there's just this uncertainty when it comes to him, and I don't really like that. It's my only nitpick. I feel like this episode was amazing. It just didn't feel believable at some points,